All right, hey team, we got episode 7 of AmYap, and we got a special guest today, a run coach, Erica, who's doing all the programming for our run club for the last 6 months or so now. Can't remember when we started that now, maybe the start of the year. So yeah, thought it'd be great to get Erica on and have a chat and see what the go is.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on. So first up, Erica, a bit about your background, because you run Ocean Grove Run Club currently, but how'd you get into running? What's you in running?
Yeah, so I'm turning 45 this year, and I've been involved in athletics for 40 years. I started Little Aths when I was 5 out at Nunawading Little Athletics Club, and yeah, I've loved it since then. My dad was a high level runner as well. He actually won the first Gold Coast Marathon and was one of the first kind of cohorts to go over to the US university systems back in the late 60s on a scholarship. So I probably picked up a bit of talent from him and love for the sport from him. But I went all through kind of the junior ranks, and I was a national junior champion over 800 and 1500 meter distances.
The two worst distances, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Did a bit of cross country as well. And then finally, I accepted a scholarship to the US to attend uni at the University of Arkansas, which is one of the top track and field programs in the States. And studied and just ran track and field. It was such a great experience. Bit of a culture shock initially going over to Arkansas, but it was the best experience. Yeah, so I did my degree there in marketing management and business. And after I graduated, my husband at the time was a professional runner, and he signed a contract with Nike to live and train and race in the States. So I stayed on living in Arkansas with my husband, and also signed a professional contract with with Adidas. My husband was Nike, I was Adidas. Yeah. And stuck on there for another 4 years, and I was a volunteer assistant coach at the University of Arkansas, and just worked a little bit part-time in a bank as well, and continued kind of living the dream, running for another 4 years post-collegiately.
That's awesome.
That is amazing. And
Yeah.
you were always in those two distances? Did you?
Yeah, mainly. They have the indoor track program over there, indoor season as well, and they have some strange distances there. So they have 600 meter, 1K and 1 mile events. So I actually broke the Australian records in those 3 different disciplines. It's not as common in Australia, but yeah. So I held the Australian records for those at the time, which was fun. But then, in outdoor season, it's the standard like 800 meter, 1500 meter distances.
Yeah. Are those records still standing?
No. Oh, actually, the 600 meter is, yes.
Nice.
The 1K and the 15 and the 1 mile have since been broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then moved back to Australia in 2009 and got a real job, and just tried to continue to run myself and enjoy it, but not non-competitively. And then had a couple of kids, and I found working in the corporate world a bit tough, juggling family and work. It was just a bit tricky. So I decided to pursue my lifelong passion and go and get accredited as a running coach. And I started Ocean Grove Run Club, and started just really small, as there was a handful of women. And it's grown. I've now been doing it for 8 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How many people do you have in the run club?
Probably engaged clients that come to training every week, about 120.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. And we just recently started a new group, the Union Track Club, which is a junior track club. And that's kind of developing young athletes from the Little Aths level, and hopefully transitioning them and molding them into, the future of Australian athletics one day.
Yeah.
Great.
That's super special. What a really cool way to end up where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like I'm just, living my passion. I get to work with people that love running and have goals, and I find it really rewarding to help people work with them and help people set those goals, no matter how big or small they are. It's just really wonderful to see people's, confidence grow in their running and achieve some goals that they have. Get a real kick out.
Yeah.
What percentage of people would you say come to join you who would not consider themselves runners but want to get into running?
50% probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot
Okay.
of people start, from the very beginnings, the jog walk type programs, and, have the ultimate goal of, breaking 30 minutes for a 5K park run.
Yeah.
And, when they achieve that, they, just keep moving up and setting bigger goals. And it's fantastic.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's
Yeah.
nice.
You
Yeah.
said you got the little kids running, but what's the oldest runners you've got at the moment? Just to get a range.
Yeah. I coach a man who is 68, and he's going over to the World Masters Championships next month. Yeah.
You
That's
got
pretty
Yeah,
you
cool.
got a
I've had
woman?
people in their early 70s as well, and that they come occasionally still. But yeah, youngest is 6 and eldest is, early 70s.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Never too late.
No.
What do we got here? So I suppose a bit of background how I got into you. One of our members, Bron, is good friends with you and does a lot of your running coaching with some of her clients as well. So she put me on to Erica. Don't know when it was. Was that sometime last year or the year before?
Yeah.
Where was I going with that? No, no. So yeah, I got into Erica back then and we've chatted back and forth for a little bit before we got the program up and running. So with the run club for us, what's the reasoning behind doing the different days, the different sort of types of workouts?
Yeah. Yeah. So a few things. Variety for one. I think everyone likes, changing things up a little bit and not doing the same types of sessions over and over. There is a little structure behind the formatting. So in general, I do like to do kind of 3 weeks of build, I suppose, and then a bit of a deload recovery week, in which allows you guys to absorb the loads and just rest up and recover and kind of refresh for another block. But within those weeks, like to mix it up between some real kind of easy type recovery runs, which builds aerobic capacity and endurance, a lot of conditioning in the legs, and then kind of alternate between various types of intervals, which it could be threshold runs, it could be kind of more lactic tolerance type sessions, and it can be long runs. So a combination of all of those types of training methods help you guys in what you're training for. And a lot of you are doing Hyrox events. A lot of you are doing this big mile event coming up, which is a hugely endurance-based event. But by training your body to run at different paces and increase your speed, but at the same time in other sessions increase your endurance, it kind of it all blends together to achieve the kind of goals that you guys have. And if I were to kind of borrow a type of runner that I'm training you guys to be, it would be between kind of a 5K and a 10K style runner,
Yeah.
which kind of helps you achieve the goals that you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
And so one of the reasons I wanted to get the run club going was because CrossFit's very good at hitting a lot of areas, but we've got an hour class. We can't I could program a 10K run or a 5K run, but I don't think a lot of people would turn up to
Quiet
class that
day.
day.
Be quiet day in the gym that day.
So we don't often hit those longer intervals that we can do in, say, a run club sort of structure. So
Yeah.
it's something that is missing from, I think, a general class, which is, again, why we got it in. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good too. And a lot of the sessions are time-based sessions. So it's all relative depending on, somebody's ability. If it's, a 3-minute effort and a 1-minute recovery, that the actual distance that, a really fit person can cover versus someone that's just starting, it's really all the same. They're getting the same benefits out of the session.
Yeah.
And people can, spend their recovery time, walking if they're starting, or, a faster float if they're really fit. And I think it's really adaptable to all levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a common mistake people make when they're first getting into it, is when they think they need to run a certain distance or a certain pace to get better at it. Whereas my first interval
Yeah.
run, I was literally, it was programmed run, jog, and I jogged and walked.
Yeah,
So
that's
just,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's about being consistent more than anything, and turning up to training, whether it's in the gym or doing the run program, with like making sure it's purposeful. Like, you're not just there to go through the motions. What's the point of the session that you're doing, and and doing it properly. If it's a recovery run, that's the point. You want to recover. You want to get the conditioning in your legs. You want to enjoy it. If you do it properly, you can then put your efforts forward on the next harder interval session that you've got and get the most out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leads me into my question, was zone 2 training. Again, it's something that's probably not done in a CrossFit class because it's all like we're going hard, we're going fast in a class. So zone 2 doesn't get touched on. When I try and do the runs, I can't run in zone 2.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I'm down there. Minimum I got the other day was a zone 3, but I'm always like 4 or higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the zone 2? Why is it a good thing? Is it something that's needed,
Well,
necessary?
it's a bit of a debatable topic, and it kind of depends on the type of athlete that you are. Like someone like Ben, like you, that's a bit stronger and potentially endurance based as your makeup, your basic makeup, compared to a marathon runner that weighs 50 kilos and that runs 150K plus a week. Your zone twos are going to be completely different from each other. Yeah, like for a 45-year-old, for example, if you're going to go through the 60 to 70% of max heart rate, that's 105 to 123 beats per minute. That is like, a lot of people get that from walking. So, yeah, it's really hard to stay within that really low zone. I never did that myself in my training. Yeah, I think if if you train a lot and you're an endurance-based athlete, that might be achievable. But if you're training for middle distance racing or 5 to 10K racing and you're doing it around CrossFit training, it's really tricky to do. My philosophy is more based around, if you're only able to run twice or 3 times a week, it's the quality of those sessions. There's certainly the purpose of a recovery run, but I think it's for the average recreational runner type person, it should be based more around being able to hold a conversation, being able to breathe through your nose and mouth simultaneously, and feeling like you can continue running when you stopped, like you felt like it was an easy run. I think ultimately that's what you need to walk away with. If you wanted to really train zone 2 within those constraints, I would find it to be more beneficial to do it potentially by cross training, to get on an elliptical or an exercise bike where you can simply spin or go easy, but you're not putting all that impact through your body.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I went for a weighted ruck on Sunday instead of running, and I was
Yeah,
zone 2 the whole way, and
yeah,
I was like, "Oh, this is zone 2.
yeah,
Never actually
yeah.
been here before."
Just walking and sweating.
Yeah, cool. What else we got? Advice for those members or people who avoid running and need running, but are sort of hesitant to get started. You got any advice for helping people to get started?
Yeah, I think you've got to start small. You don't want to go in with these, huge expectations of, okay, I need to go out and pump out 5K or 6K when your body's not used to it. And you won't be able to last by doing that. You'll just pull up way too sore and you won't be consistent. And so, yeah, ultimately the goal is to be as consistent as possible. And to do that, you need to enjoy it and you need to pull up without feeling too sore from it. So a jog walk program is best, and it could be as little as, I'm returning from an injury myself, and a couple of days ago I started with 8 by 30 second of jogs and a minute 30 of walks in between, and that can be that could be the start of somebody's start your running program too. Start with a 10-minute walk and throw in some 30-second jogs and get the heart rate down between them, so you're not killing yourself by doing it, and you slowly, surely keep building from that. Changed it into 10 30-second efforts, and then 6 1-minute efforts, and just ever slowly but surely you can put it all together, and it's pretty amazing how quickly you can get up to a fair distance without killing yourself. And within the period of about a month, you're up to running 3 to 5K easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I like
Yeah.
why I like your time-based workouts the
Yeah.
best, because it factors in everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there'd be a lot of people relieved to hear you say that, because there is often the pressure that like runs need to be unbroken, and you need to be fast, and if you're not tired then you've got more to give, and you keep going until you're empty.
Yeah.
And it's just not how you build. You don't need to.
No, and especially not middle-aged people either. Kids can go out and flog themselves and rebound the next day, but yeah, adults, like even at my run club, a lot of people do really flog themselves for that midweek session. But then half of them are walking, and it doesn't matter. You've always got people around you. You've got the support network there. You've got
Yeah.
people encouraging you, no matter your ability. The point of the session is to get you to where you want to be in your own benchmarks.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you have a question wise?
Well, I'm someone who doesn't particularly enjoy road running. Like, I've had cool conversations with people who are like, I love just straight, flat pavement running. And I'm like, I couldn't think of anything worse personally.
Yeah.
Like, I want to think about where my feet are going and see the trees and run over a stream, like all those kinds of things. That's for me.
Yeah.
I guess like your program could really be done on any setting to a degree. Like, it doesn't matter what path you're on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't at all. I'm that person that loves the road running and the track, and I'm just too unco to get on a trail and just roll my ankle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do coach a lot of people like you that prefer the trails and nice scenery and the distractions of animals and what. But yeah, it's totally whatever is your preference.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess pace kind of goes out the window when it comes to trail running. Like, a lot is dependent on
Like
the
your terrain
elevation
stuff.
and the footing and everything like that. So that's a bit harder to work out if you've got time goals. But
Yeah.
it's totally versatile.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Suppose then we got a group of us entered into this Harry's Hardcore Longest Mile, which if you're watching and haven't heard of it, it's you run a mile, you've got 15 minutes to do it. And if you complete that, you go to the next 15 minutes, but you lose 10 seconds to complete the next mile. And you keep losing 10 seconds every mile until you essentially fail or give up. So that's coming up, I think, in 2 weeks.
That's
It's coming
Very
up
close.
pretty quick.
Yeah, when you told me about that, Ben, I looked it up and I'm like, wow, this is like so interesting. It'd be so fun.
I think I looked at it first and went, hell no, I'm not doing that. It sounds horrible. And then the more I thought about it, I was like,
Well, then one of
really,
our
like,
members, Sandy, was like,
interesting
I've
about it.
signed up. And we were like, no.
We're on.
You better sign up. I even waited. I think their profile said there's only 100 tickets left. And I left it like a week and it still said that. So I was like, okay, maybe I should sign up.
Yeah.
So questions around that is, how should people approach it? Should we go super slow at the start or just run our normal pace and then get rest?
I think you go as slow as you can for as long as possible. Stay as comfortable as you can. A couple of things to be mindful of. I wouldn't try to do it in like, performance carbon plated shoes or anything. I would want to wear really comfy shoes because you're going to be spending a long time on your feet.
I think it's actually a bit of a sandy track as well.
Yeah. So
Can't
they're
be
not
too
really
deep.
going to
It's a race
give you the
course.
benefit. Yeah. I think fueling is really important. So, a couple of hours beforehand, have a really, carb heavy meal. Like, I don't know, my go-to was toast with peanut butter and honey and a banana, and then, a handful of lollies or something before you start. But then probably a gel almost every 30 minutes. Hopefully you guys have got like hydration packs. So they've probably got water.
Go
Just
get some
one.
hydration packs.
Just purchase
Yeah.
one, yeah.
What's
I
that?
just said we'll go get some hydration packs.
Yeah. Although they'd probably have tables out there, wouldn't they, with stuff for you?
I'm also, we're going in blind, but I'm envisioning too that like there's almost a station, and every time you finish, you come back, and hopefully there's a little, there's a toilet and a drink station, and maybe you can have a little bag there.
I'm envisioning it's not everybody's starting at the same point as well. So there's
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would do, if I was you, I would be doing the bare minimum unless, you really wanted to eat something more substantial, in which I would, just go like a minute faster on that mile so you've got time to just slow down and ingest it comfortably without trying to do it on the run, or if you need a toilet break or something like that. But in general, the littlest effort that you can do for the longest period of time would be the way I would go at it. And then try to also switch off your mind at the start too. Like, try not to overthink it too much, and like try to almost save your focus power to when you're going to need it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine there's going to be a point where you get back to the start and you're going again. So it's almost like continuous.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
choice is to either go slightly faster and have 30 seconds rest, or go
Yeah.
slower and just continuous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my issues with running is that I'm a plodder. I'll keep going. I'm like a tanker. I'll go and go and go. But as soon as I need to turn around or stop, the getting back up to speed is the hard part.
Yeah.
Like if I do an out and back run, I'd get there and turn around. I'm like, I'll start
I'm
again.
the opposite to that. What's the theory behind that? I turn around, I'm like, I'm going home.
That's so funny.
So I'm wondering if those little rests are like going to just zap me trying to get back up to speed again.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Would
Yeah.
you consider doing something like this next year?
You're trying me on. Maybe. I don't know. The longest I've done a 28K training run before, and I've done a few half marathons, but I've kind of always thought that was my limit. I don't know if I could do what you're doing. Yeah.
Well, you can stop any time. You could do 2 rounds and then be like, I'm done.
Well, that's true. That's true.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose the other one for tips as well would be like a Hyrox. We got a fair few members now that are interested, done a few, whether it's individual and in pairs.
And you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm signed up again this year.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate how the run is affected by the stations, or how the stations are affected by the run. So any tips, tricks for those?
Yeah, again, the Hyrox, you want to train like a 5K to 10K runner, but I think a really important part is to prepare your athletes to run under fatigue. So I'm not sure how many like sims you do in preparation, but I think that's pretty important to do, like, even if it's not doing the exact same stations, but going out and doing some hard efforts straight from doing, heavy legs in the gym, I think it's good to practice that, because you certainly, it's not like going out and doing a race fresh. You've got to, you've got to really get used to that feeling of running fatigue and trying to get your heart rate controlled. I think that's a big one. You don't want to go out too hard on your first one either, and get that heart rate elevated straight away. You kind of want to be as consistent as possible. Yeah. Time in the bank at the beginning, I don't think is helpful at all in Hyrox.
Yeah, time in the bank, you mean just like getting ahead?
Yeah, like if you're capable of, going out and running a 330K, but then all the rest are, 4:15 and, tapering off, it's totally not worth it. You're best to go and try to average 4s the whole way.
Yeah.
Like
just hold a pace rather than be like fast, slow.
That's
fast,
right.
slow.
Yeah.
I actually think last year when me and Maddie did it, our last K was probably our fastest.
Ooh.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, which we probably mispaced it a little bit in the middle, maybe.
Little
Should have
bit,
gone a bit
yeah.
faster.
It's better to do that though than the other way. Yeah.
Felt much better finishing than the first year.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, any other questions?
No, but I am excited about just getting into running a little bit more. I used to run before CrossFit. So I was like, I'd map out a route on my laptop and stuff. So it was before I don't even think I had a phone to put an app on or track anything or anything like that. So it's kind of, it's exciting to think about just getting back into it more consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that like on the sessions that I'm sending through, like I think there's like an optional 6K run. It doesn't need to be 6K for those people that are just starting. If you can get out, even if it's for, a 1K jog, a 1K walk, a 1K jog, your body is going to, the consistency of doing that is going to really reward the people continuing on through the other sessions during the week. Yeah, consistency is really key. And it's, you don't have to flog yourself every session. Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway is, just keep at it and you don't have to flog yourself.
Doing it.
Yeah.
CrossFitters like to flog themselves though.
Yeah. It's a very hard lesson to learn. Awesome.
And if anyone wants like any personalized running programs, they can contact you and you can help them out with through Ocean Grove Run Club.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, feel free to pass my number on, Ben. And I can do more individualized plans for people, or even if people are just following the plan that we set for you in your gym and have a question, feel free to text me and clarify anything, or any advice that I can provide. Happy to.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Well, thanks for jumping on today.
Yeah.
Having a chat.
We'll have to come
that was
down and
good.
do a session.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Bring a group down. We'll do some social events, so it could be a social event for a month.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Or maybe next time I'm staying in Melbourne, I'll reach out and see if I can pop in or something.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Yeah,
And,
thank you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
That's all right. Anytime. All right. We'll see you later, guys. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.